All right, welcome to the daily market analysis for 15 June. What we're going to do tonight is go over updates to the market since last night and also identify setups happening tonight going into tomorrow. So first pair we're going to go over is going to be NC, the New Zealand dollar and the Canadian dollar. All right, looking at the 1 hour time frame, last night they came back down, right? Gave us an AFP setup, right? First leg, second leg during Asian, came up during London session, right? But these setups right here or these pins happen during Asian. We don't trade Asian because Asian session is just mainly for setting the highs and the lows of the day, and then they trade within that range. As you can see, there was no shift of the zone. They didn't go up towards the 25 pip stop pump box or do a stop pump below. So essentially, they're back in the same range doing a similar setup to yesterday. Uh, they gave us the low, right, way over here, and basically came back and hit it a couple times. Well, they're doing that here. They gave us the low and the low again. Right now, working the high. What I'm hoping for tonight is for them to come back into this reverse box, the orange box that I painted, before going back long. As you can see, TDI is on its way up toward the top Bollinger Band now. So I don't foresee them going too much higher, right? This is yesterday's high right here, this blue line. I would be surprised if they came way back up here before coming back down, but that is a possibility. But again, tonight, looking for a better entry as far as a W goes tonight before we run it up long. And then obviously once they give us that better entry, we'll drop down to the 30-minute and wait for the cross. All right, wanted some opinions on this. I've labeled levels now. You don't have to count them yourself. You can see them and reference them during the webinars. If you like this, let me know and I will continue to do that. This is how I do my homework and mark up the charts. This is part of marking up the charts. There's a lot more that goes into it, but this is definitely a part of it. So we'll continue. So last night all UJ did was consolidate, right? They hit the top a few times. So as you can see, the small orange box here, I'm expecting them to come up towards that again, which they are currently at. TDI is almost at that market baseline. I'm expecting a short position tonight since they've got these hits so close, and they're all respecting that outside structure. 1, 2, 3. This will be the fourth since they're all close within 2 days. If this crosses soon, I'd be willing to take it. We got a 30-minute setup here. They've issued us a sun, correction, a star, right? Now we got our harmonic pattern, the red triangle. So if they cross, I'm going to push the signal out on UJ. All right, moving on to CJ. So on CJ, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, you see here's our moon, right? First leg, second leg, right above that 000 line. TDI is now hitting that market baseline, right? I'm expecting them to come back down a little bit around this range before coming up into this zone. But the overall trend I got is short. So this is the zone where I'm expecting them to come back up before blowing out that bottom right here and exceeding, coming down towards that 200 EMA. We almost have biased Bollinger Bands. Both of those Bollinger Bands are almost underneath that mid-level line. All we gotta do is wait for them to continue down. They might give a W tonight, come up and then shoot down, or they might come up towards the 13 or the 50, right, before coming back down. Either way, I foresee them coming back in this box before dropping. All right, moving on to EJ. EJ on the 4-hour time frame. They are currently consolidating. They've given us first leg and then consolidated, ran sideways. I'm expecting they already did hit it, but I'm expecting them to come into this this orange box. You can see TDI is moving sideways as well. We're just waiting to see how they behave tonight. Hopefully they don't take off during London. We'll drop down to the 1-hour time frame. As you can see, they've given our first leg, second leg, and then consolidated and retest. So here's a third hit right here. If they stay below here, there's not an indicator on either one of these, so I'm not as comfortable, right? And if we zoom out, we got a triangle harmonic showing long, right? But they already ran it long. That range there is about 100 pips, so we're going to disregard that triangle, right? If they give us an indicator tonight and then on the 1-hour time frame, right, and they keep hitting a high, we'll drop down to the 30-minute and wait for the cross, obviously off the high. TDI is hitting or right below that market baseline now, so I don't foresee them coming up too much higher. If they do, though, hopefully they give us an indicator. I'll feel a little more comfortable taking that short. But more to follow on that. All right, moving on to NJ. NJ is pretty much, if they continue up, have taken off. They did it during Asian session today, right? Not too long ago. They did the 30-minute cross about 2 hours ago, right? So if they continue up, missed money is not lost money. We'll drop back up or come back up to the 1-hour time frame. I'll show you why I foresee them coming back down. So right now they got first leg, second leg. They came up past the 13 EMA and have pinned the 50 EMA. And if this closes down, this will be a railroad track, right? TDI is already hitting that market baseline. So that's why I'm expecting them to come back down. Might not come into this reverse box, right? But I'm expecting them to at least come down to the Asian low right here. Let me go ahead and adjust this box. All right, so that's where I'm expecting them to go. If they continue up, oh well, missed money is not lost money. We don't trade during the Asian session most of the time. All right, so EN, they gave us first and then second leg. This is a very, very short second leg, right? It also could be considered a small AFP, right? Here's your peak, consolidation, and then continue down. Right now, TDI is blown past the market baseline on its way towards the bottom Bollinger Band. They've given us the high of the day and the low of the day. What I'm hoping that they do is come back up into the reverse box, right? Retesting this first leg before going short. So once they do that, they come back up here, at least retest today's high, right? The high of the Asian session. Once they do that, once they get in that area or that zone, then we'll drop down to the 30-minute and wait for the cross. You know what I didn't do? I didn't go over EJ last night. I think it was EJ that I was going to push a signal for. It was either EJ or E. And which one?
Probably EN had the most movement.
No, it wasn't that one. Because I expected him to go long. I think it was EJ. Yep, it sure was. All right. So real quick, last night, when they gave us this peak, they did do a cross on the 30-minute. This is the 1 hour, but they did do a cross on the 30-minute. Came down to the 50 EMA and came back up. I will show you on the 30-minute time frame why we did not take that, why I did not push the signal. So first off, they didn't give us a second leg before the cross, right? But on the 30-minute, they gave us this peak formation. There was a gap between the EMAs, right? Because there was no second leg. Usually when they give a second leg, the EMAs are closer, like this, for example. But when they crossed, TDI was at or outside of the bottom Bollinger Band. And I usually don't use this right here on my live account. I am currently testing this for the group, but this was another confirmation that they were going to pull up. So right when they crossed, you can see down here, this is the Williams percentage. This line was below this dotted line, right? The 80 line. So that's why I didn't take it. I foreseen them coming back up, and then shortly after they issued the moon and then pulled up. So this Williams percentage is very promising, right? I use it on the 30-minute, the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but this is definitely something I am glad I discovered. Still testing it. I use it on some trades, but we'll definitely push out how to use it very soon. All right, moving on to UC. So on UC, you can see they have consolidated for a very long time, working the high and the low, right? Trying to do a lot of inducing, gradually pulling up. Well, right below the 50 EMA, it did an aggressive move and issued us a star. TDI is outside of the top Bollinger Band right here at the mid-level line, right? On the 4 hour time frame, we've got now a moon, a railroad track, right? They shifted down some. And you can see TDI has hit that top Bollinger Band. It's coming back, or it came back in on its way back up. So we'll drop down to the 1 hour. So there was that moon. It is now a sun. Small pushes down, right? Consolidating. I'm expecting them to come back up and retest this high tonight. Let me go ahead and label that. Right there. There it is. So I'm expecting them to come back up and retest this high before dropping. As you can see on the RSI, the TDI is right above that market baseline now. So hopefully they round back up or make an aggressive move back up towards the top Bollinger Band and the high level line before dropping. And once they do that, we'll drop down to the 30-minute and wait for the EMAs across. All right, that's all I got for tonight. You have any questions? All right, I'll pass it off to Nick so he can cover his pairs.
All right, here we go. All right, so GU did something that I did not expect yesterday. They continued short. So that's why I didn't push the trade out, because the setup did not confirm with my directional bias. So we currently have our moon extended down onto this candle. Price is trading below the 200 EMA. We're riding this bottom Bollinger Band, and so I think that where we're at right now, we are back in preparation to look for a buy. We have a star on the day chart, right? TDI's bottom Bollinger Band. If I like this win percentage range myself, and that's sitting down here at the -80 level. And they additionally pinned this 50 EMA. That's part of the reason I think that we are still looking for longs. If we look at the 4-hour chart as well, our moon is still here, and TDI came down to this Bollinger Band one more time, and in doing so popped it back under this -80 level, but not as bad as it did over here. So I think that there's still a pretty good opportunity for that coming up. Looking at the 1-hour chart, right, to try to gauge what happens tonight, we got TDI moving at the market baseline. We're riding right under this 800 EMA with our sun on the bottom end here. I'd like to see them stop hunt low. If they give us a stop hunt low, that'll give us a second leg on the 1-hour chart. Otherwise, if they don't give us that stop hunt, I anticipate they're going to continue to push down even further. So we're gonna kind of have to see what they decide to do throughout the Asian session tonight. It's been a really tight one so far, less than 20 pips, I believe it was last time I checked. Looks the same. Yeah, so it's about 10 pips total. And you see them pinning the 800 EMA as well. So that is why I think that there is a possibility they could continue to push down. All right, moving on to GJ. GJ did the exact same thing, pretty much that GU did, right? They're not pinning that 800 EMA though, but they're pinning the 50 and the 200, and they're doing that through price action. This price point, this 000 line, you can barely see it because they're just right on it, and trading above and below it. So again, right, I'd like to see them stop hunt low before giving us a W formation. But if not, again, I think they're going to continue to push down. We got a lot of the same factors going on, a lot of the same behaviors. If we look at the 4-hour chart, right, we see they've also been in that consolidation for a long time here, coming up this high level. And we do still have our moon on top. So for any kind of future buy positions, there's going to also need to be that indicator here on the bottom end that I always talk about. I like to see that as further confirmation. So I don't think GJ is going to be a trade tonight. I think GU has more of an opportunity to present a trade, but we will see. I'm not going to push a trade out if it doesn't meet where my directional bias is. If that setup doesn't meet the directional bias out on the end of the check down, we don't take that. So EG, right, behaving inversely to the other two pairs as per usual. They moved pretty decently yesterday. Didn't look at this pair last night. I don't really pay. After I look at it through the Asian session, I have a bad habit of not looking at it in the London. So, so we have them now pinning through the 800 EMA, 2 bars, right? One up, closing above, and then another closing below, and consolidation to end the day. I think that there's a possibility they're going to go short. I think they need to, I really would like to see this move short tonight to help confirm the other two, more so just because of where we are in relation to all of the EMAs throughout the pairs. It gets very tricky sometimes when trading and the EMAs are so congested like this. So you gotta be careful. You gotta make good decisions. All right, last but not least, GN. They did their stop hunt high last night. But what they didn't like was they fell away during the U.S. session. I would have really liked for them to do that stop hunt that we talked about high throughout the Asian session. They didn't. They did it in London. I don't like trading stop hunts. Neither does Javon because it's very dangerous. And and they fell away pretty aggressively to end the day. So I'd like to see a retest of the high here, the daily high on GN, in order to take this short. Directional buy is still short though, without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. So that's all I got for my pairs tonight. Same pairs I usually cover. You got anything else you want to cover? Okay. All right. Well, as with every other webinar, feel free to reach out to us via group chat or send us a DM if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you back tomorrow evening, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Have a good night.